All right, let's get into it for this past week's review. Not gonna lie, not my best week. We're 9-7. We're on a good roll of like 10-4s. Every team did play last week though, so easy to pick up losses, but less wins, more games. Not a great combo. So Thanksgiving games. The only one I got wrong was my own team. I had Green Bay losing to Detroit, like I think most of America probably did. I had them losing 27-20. They won 29-22. Had Dallas. I underestimated how bad Dallas was going to beat Washington, and I think I gave Seattle a little too much credit against San Fran. But honestly, they're one of those teams you don't really know what you're ever going to get from. It seems like with Seattle, they're overall a good team, very unpredictable though. So you had Miami beating the Jets, as we all did. I just had Houston beating Jacksonville. That was kind of one of those gut feeling predictions. I had New England beating the Giants. We're just going to call that the Tank Bowl. That was absolutely horrible. I was right on Pitt. I had Tampa beating Indy. That didn't go so well. I had New Orleans beating Atlanta. I was right on Tennessee, Denver, the Rams, KC, Philly, and then the two primetime games at the end of the week. I was a bust on both of those. Congrats to the Bears on winning without scoring a touchdown. That's awesome. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't even know right now. I am kind of curious to see what the Vikings are going to do with Kirk Cousins. If they're going to try to re-sign him or what's going to go on. They're going to try to trade him, maybe to a team that's going to look to develop a young quarterback. He'd be a great guy for that role. Honestly, this might sound crazy. I think whatever team drafts, what's his name? I believe Drake May, the quarterback at UNC, whoever takes him in the draft should try to go out, unless they think he's going to be it right away, which I hate that philosophy with starting rookie quarterbacks. Whoever drafts him should go and try to get Kirk Cousins from Minnesota so he can learn behind him. That being said, let's go into this week. And I do have college football game since it's conference championship week. But let's start with the NFL. Got Seattle and Dallas. Dallas is favored by 9. I got Seattle winning. I'm going to put false hope into Seattle again, but Dallas doesn't know how to play good teams. We got Miami over Washington. Seattle have 27-23, by the way. Miami over Washington, 31-14. Detroit over New Orleans, 21-17. I think that's going to be a little lower scoring. I know Detroit's a better team by before. Who Dey or who dat? I always mix up who dat. Who dat's New Orleans. Who Dey is Cincinnati. Who dat Nation? They're still fighting for a playoff berth. They're playing in the Caesars Superdome or whatever they're calling it this week. It's gonna be rowdy. So I think it'll keep them in it. The Chargers over New England, 23-6. I don't care how bad the weather might be for the LA guys. I don't care how dumb Coach Staley is. The Patriots are the epitome of incompetent right now, and it feels so good to say that. Pitt, 24-16 over Atlanta. Denver, 27-24 over Houston. Who would have thought going into this year that would be an potentially amazing game? Beat Atlanta 20-13 over the Jets. Indy and Tennessee. I went back and forth on this one. Indy's favored by a point. I'm gonna have Tennessee win by a point, 21-20. I know I've been forgetting to read all the spreads. It doesn't matter. If you're watching this, you're gonna bet. You're probably only half listening to me. You're probably one of my friends just giving me false hope and support. Thank you, by the way. You're probably going to take what I say with a grain of salt. And you're going to see the point spread right there. But Carolina at Tampa Bay, 5.5 point favorites, 17-13. They're not going to quite cover it. San Fran, -2.5 at Philly. This is one of those teams, games, they're both so good. I'm just going to go with the home team because of the travel. So 24-23 Philly. Cleveland at Rams, -3.5. Going to be Rams 28-16. KC, -6 at Green Bay. 27-17. I don't like that both my teams had to play KC in a row, by the way. Cincy at Jacksonville, -8.5. Give me Jacksonville, 27-13. Now, this is one of those weeks I'm actually more excited to talk college ball because it is conference championship weekend. This is it. And it doesn't feel like we should be here already. Wow, this season flew by way too quick for my liking. But yeah. So we got New Mexico State at Liberty -10.5. I don't know anything about either of these teams. No one does unless you're a fan of them. Give me Liberty 34-21, I guess. Sure. Oregon at Washington, the one I think a lot of people are most excited for. I know I am. This is the big. There's two real big ones. This is the big one, though. And unless the top four went out, then this game actually means nothing. But there's potential college football playoff at stake. This could be the game that decides the Heisman Trophy winner between the quarterbacks. Like, this is it. These are passionate fan bases, too. Oh, and it's Friday night in Las Vegas. That's... Oregon, minus 9.5 at Washington. Over-under on this one, 66. I'm going way over for 80. Give me Oregon, 42-38. Oklahoma State at Texas, who's favored by 14.5. I think it's going to be closer. This is the time of year where Oklahoma State tends to ruin things. They're not going to quite ruin it, though. Give me Texas, 35-31. Miami of Ohio versus Toledo, who's favored by 7.5. The Ohio Bowl. Give me Toledo, 24-21. The game that's going to hurt me. Boise State minus 2.5 at UNLV. And this is, I don't know about a lot of the other ones. This is a true at. This is at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Paradise, Nevada. Unincorporated Clark County, if we're going to get technical. So Boise State's fair 2.5. Over-under is 59. We're going to go over. Boise State's going to cover at 34-31. This has just been too good of a year for UNLV, but unfortunately, just like last week with San Jose State, we're going to fold. We clawed our way back, but whatever. This season's a win. Rather it's 9-4 or 10-3. Hopefully it'll be 10-3. Either way, there's a bowl game afterwards, but moving on. The other game, the other big one. Georgia minus 5.5 at Bama. Conventional wisdom says Georgia should win this, but I have a hard time going against Bama in games like this. And this would give the College Football Playoff Committee an absolute fit if Bama wins this. Especially, the Oregon and Washington being right there at 5-6. A one-loss Georgia team, especially if it's a close game. They're so much fun. I want Georgia to win because I cannot stand Bama. I'm going to say that again, though. I love Coach Saban. But just for the absolute chaos that could ensue. The absolute chaos that will ensue if Bama wins. Bama 27-24. SMU at Tulane. Who cares? Tulane's 3.5-point favorite. I'm going with SMU. I know Tulane's ranked 22nd. SMU's been one of those teams the last few years, though, that's really kind of pulled their own. App State at Troy. Again, I don't really know crap about either one. I like App State, though. The environment there has got to be like one of the best. So I'm going to go with them. Louisville at Florida State. Another chance for chaos. And this one I actually truly believe Louisville wins. 34-28. So way over the 40.5. I got like 62. Then Michigan. This is crazy. Michigan favored by 24. The over-under. 35. Could go just over a little bit. Let's say 27-12. So they're gonna win straight up. They're not gonna cover, and they're gonna hit, but it's gonna hit the over for that game. I think when it's all said and done, I don't even know. If I'm looking at how it's going down, I don't know what that top four is. Michigan. I think Michigan's the safe bet right now. They're in. But I have Florida State losing. I have Georgia losing. Again, the thing is, Bama. I don't know, man. And then you got the Oregon and Washington State. That's going to be hard. If my predictions in those important games come true, I would not want to be the college football playoff committee. Like, how at that point it really comes down. How much do you rank Bama's 2 regular season losses versus a SEC championship game? And I hate to defend Bama, but I feel like you win the championship in the toughest division or toughest conference, that should outweigh 2 losses. Especially when it's like they weren't blown away in those losses and they weren't to nobody teams. And then you still got to keep Georgia in, right? Like, you don't, especially if it's close. So you'd have those 2. I think it'd come down to those 2. Plus Michigan, assuming they win. and then the winner of Oregon and Washington. So ideally, if mine comes true, it would be Michigan, Oregon, Bama, Georgia. But yeah, who knows? Maybe none of them. Take the Oregon Washington game out. Whoever wins, that's probably going in. If Bama doesn't win, that's easy. Georgia's in. What happens though if Michigan somehow loses? Bama wins. Those are the thoughts I'm going to leave you with. Comments. Who's your Final Four in the college football playoff system? College football playoff. Yeah, that's all I mean to say. Like I said, I'm gonna roll with Michigan, Oregon, Georgia, Bama. You really intertwine those just based off how my prediction's gonna go. Any other thing wouldn't really make sense. The Texas whole thing could be interesting, but it's a lot of dominoes that have to fall. It's gonna be a fun weekend. So anyone that's betting on this chaos, good luck. Again, college football playoff, 4 teams in the comment section. Good luck, everyone, and we'll see you next time.